guys. Hello, my friends. I hope you are well. I hope you're having an amazing day. I am very sorry if you were waiting for us. We've been having some crazy technical difficulties. I was trying so hard. I made a PowerPoint for today's class for you guys, and I was trying so hard to share my screen and make it happen. And then I started having other issues, and then I had to switch to Brian's computer. All this stuff. So I'm just here to say, you know what? We do the best we can, and we don't worry about what we can't do. I am putting on right now, obviously, a little bit of stress away. It's just one of those ones that helps bring you back down, helps you get that centered feeling. Oh, you guys, it smells so delightful, so calming. It's one that you need in your arsenal because it will help keep you calm in the midst of the storm. That's how stress away feels for me. And then I'm going to do a little bit of energy because, you know, we're talking about that today. We're talking about getting sleep, staying asleep, feeling good while you sleep, and get this, waking up and feeling like you got a great night's sleep and having energy. That's what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to feel energetic. We're going to really go into that. I'm also putting on a little bit of clarity, and I hope you will do the same thing so it helps you think and remember and be able to focus and really get the bits that you personally need out of today's recording. So if you are just joining us and you're joining us live, say hey, tell me where you're from, tell me what you're doing today, what's your plans, and what oils are you using, what's in your diffuser. Tell me other things. I have a new combo. Some people on my team were doing some stuff, and they mentioned, two different people said that they like stress away and peppermint in their diffusers. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds delicious. I have never tried that. So I have that in my diffuser again today. I love it. It is such a, it has that spa feeling. So you're getting that little bit of a vanilla. You're getting the mint, that peppermint kick. Just try it. Just try it. You'll like it. Oh, so let me get some of my peppermint going. Oh, so good. So good. So make sure you tell me if you're watching this and you're catching this on replay, tell me replay, and then tell me other things too. I go through, seriously, for about 6 days after I post a video, I go through and I answer questions. So if you have thoughts, if you have questions, if you have comments, if there's things that you think other people ought to know, share the things. That's how we learn. I have learned so much in the past 2 days by all the different comments I've gotten in our group. We're doing some stuff and just different bits and things, and it has been really fun. So I want to talk about, before we get into our body clock and sleep, energy, all that stuff, I want to talk about what are some of the energy zappers. Like, what are the things that you're doing that, even if you are getting that 8 hours of sleep and, you know, you have that zen and everything, but you're still feeling tired, let's talk about some of those zappers. And the first one is going to be exactly what you're looking at right now, whether it is your computer or your phone. All of those, they're energy zappers. They're pulling away from us. And I know I have shared this before, and you're probably going to be like, Shannon, you already told me this, and you can always fast forward. But I'm telling you because I think we forget things, right? So the first thing I want to tell you is your computer. If you are on your computer for a long period of time, like if you're just 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it's not a big deal. Set it on your lap, do your thing. But if you are on your computer for long periods of time, and I am, most of what I do is working online with people, right? So my computer is elevated. So when my arm is out, I am right here is where I'm touching. So it is almost chin level. And I do that so that my head is held up, my shoulders are back, so I can get my good breathing going in. But I also do that because when we tip our head like this, it does cause problems. And I'm going to go over some of those numbers with you because I don't think that we know that. The other thing is my computer is an arm length away, and I do that with another intention. I don't want the EMF, the electrical energy coming off that computer that I'm on for 7 hours a day-ish. I don't want that coming back on me. I want that as far away from me as I can get it. So what I do is I have got just a keyboard, and I have my keyboard that I can work on, and it's right here in front of me. And when I'm on my keyboard, my hands are right in front of me, my chin is up, I'm looking straight ahead. These are really important things. And then my phone is over here out of the way, so I'm not touching my phone either. So those are energy zappers. Energy zappers are also things like the running around, the constant feeling like you're behind, constantly having 7 different tasks that you're doing, and we're multitasking. And us multitaskers, we think it's because we can do so much at one time, but the truth is, all of the studies show that somebody that gets a task, finishes the task, moves to the next task, feels more relaxed. They feel like they get more accomplished. They feel like there's more time to go do the fun things because they're taking one task, they're working through the task, and then they're done with it. They can check that off, not only a list, but they can check it off here. So their brain goes, oh, that's already done. Because when we're holding on to 52,000 things that we have to do, our brain is trying to juggle all of those things. That's why you'll be in the middle of one thing and then you'll see something shiny and you'll jump to that. Is because your brain is constantly going, oh, remember, we still got to go do that. So doing little things like that, that's going to help with the energy zappers. Going to help so that you feel better. So, and women, this is us. I'm just going to put this up here. This is us. We feel like we can do all the things, like we have to do all the things. And all it's doing is sucking the life out of us. So even things that we think are fun, we turn into a task, and now that task is a job too. So you're going to take the kids to the beach, and all of a sudden in your head, you're making lists of the 3,000 things you have to do before you go. So learning to enjoy the moment a little bit more and focus on the fun part of the things. You're going to see some differences. And I want to talk again about, I know I say it all the time, I'm not anti-phones. I clearly I have a phone. I use my phone. I do all kinds of stuff on it. It's the fancy schmancy one, so it opens up and you can see, big old screen and stuff like that. But it's about placement. So for me, if I'm doing something on my phone, I try not to have my phone actually in my hand. It has the ability to prop up because I can just fold it and do it. But I'm looking right now because I've got clips pretty much anywhere I'm at where I can put my phone in a clip and I can look at it. Again, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to explain why this was so big. So let's forget the EMFs. Let's talk about just that fatigue that we have going on, the things that are sucking the energy out of our soul. So other than the content that you're watching on your phone, you also have that when you are in the correct position and your head is up, your chin is up, your shoulders are back, this position, your little head is about 10 to 12 pounds. That's the pressure that your spine feels. That's the pressure on the nerves, all the things. But for every degree that we change, so when we get to 15 degrees, it's 27 pounds. When we get to 30 degrees, our head now is 40 pounds of pressure that is being felt. And 45, which is the typical, when you are on your phone and you're doing stuff, you are slouched in, your head is down, that 45-degree angle is like 49 pounds of pressure. And then just a bit more, 60 degrees, which is when you're into it, chin almost to your chest, because you are like really doing your thing. That is 60 pounds of pressure that is on your neck, your spine, your shoulders, all of the different things, and it actually fatigues you. It fatigues your muscles, it fatigues your body. So just lifting. So let's say you don't have the clips and things. You can prop your phone up. You're watching videos or whatever, prop your phone up. Put it up against something. Use your salt and pepper shaker, whatever, and prop it so that there's not as much of a dip. And then also you can hold your phone up. Like y'all know how to do it because you take all your pictures that way. You're like, bam, right? So you know how to hold that phone up. Doing stuff like that. And then monitoring how long we're on it. I know this is like another class, but I think we're addicted. I think we're addicted to social media. A whole nother class going on, but there's a dopamine hit that we get when we get a like on something, or we see something we've never heard, or it's super funny. There's this little dopamine boost, which is what happens when there's an addiction to something. So that's going to be another class that's coming up. I'm practicing for it. So just making sure that you're in a good position for what you're doing. If you're watching TV, make sure that your TV, again, we don't want to be looking up. We don't want to be looking down. We want to be this. I want to be just like this. So if I'm looking at TV and it's right there, it's a little bit. I'm not having to crane my neck in any direction because it fatigues your body, y'all. We want to be able to adjust our life, even your legs. So when you're sitting, I think people skip this. Your legs should be 90 degree. So your feet should touch the ground. They should come out from the chair, and it should be about a 90-degree angle going on. And when we go more than that, when we're hyperextended or we're leaning back in any of the directions, it's just like it did for your neck. It's more pounds per pressure, that pressure that we're getting, and it fatigues us. It gets our legs tired. And in your car, adjust your car if you need a little pillow behind your back to make it better. So anything that you're doing for long periods of time, like in your bed, you're in your bed for 7 to 9 hours a night, every single night. That's a long time. Make sure you've got a comfy bed. Make sure your pillow is a good pillow. Make sure that it's not pushing your head like this. If you're sleeping with a pillow behind you and it's tipping your neck, again, think pressure. It should all be nice and balanced. This is the way your body likes to be. Head up, shoulders back, spine just nice and comfy. So those are little things, and those are things people don't think about. We're always, external. I got this going on and this going on. And these are some really, this is all cheap. This costs you nothing, and not a penny. Okay, if you have to buy a new bed, it might. But I'm not saying go buy a bed. But so how much sleep do you actually need? Like, what does your body need? So I'm going to break it down for you. So newborns to 2 months need 12 to 18 hours. 3 months to 1 year needs 14 to 15 hours. 1 to 3 years needs 12 to 14 hours. And all of that, we're like, of course, littles need their sleep. And we all acknowledge that. But did you know that 3 to 5 year olds, so these are the pre-K and kindergartners, they need 11 to 13 hours of sleep. And most of us, especially in the summertime, they're going to bed really, really late because the sun is out longer, but they're still at the crack of dawn waking up. And then they're cranky and fussy in the afternoon, and we're not understanding that it's because their little body still needs another 3 hours of sleep that they didn't get the night before. And it's cumulative. And we're going to talk about what that means, but understand that your 5 to 12-year-old, right? So your tweens, these are your 10-year-olds. 10-year-olds don't need naps. 12-year-olds don't need naps. They need 10 to 11 hours of sleep. 10 to 11. So how many of your teenagers are getting that 11 hours of sleep in? And I'm going to talk about why this really matters. Why some of the attitude, some of the mood swings, some of the, my kids are driving me crazy, could really relate back to sleep. So we're going to go there. But how about this? Your 12 to 18-year-olds, do you know that they still need 9.5 hours of sleep every single night? And we have issues with that. We're going to come back and talk about what is different with our teens? Why can't we get them to sleep if they need to sleep? Or why can't we wake them up in the morning? We're going to hit there. Then as adults, we need 7 to 9 hours every single night. And this is one of those things I hear people say, I got to catch up on my sleep. That's not how sleep works. You can't just bank it, sleep for 5 hours, because that's okay. I'm just going to catch up later. That is not how it works. Our body needs that sleep regularly. And understand our body clock works with us to get us to sleep. So when the sun starts to go down, our pineal gland right here, it registers colors. It registers the light. And so as the sun starts to go down, the sky starts to turn yellow, it starts to go orange, it starts to change colors. And when that happens, our pineal gland, somewhere between 8:30, 9:30, depending on where you are and what time of the year it is, your pineal gland starts kicking out melatonin. Now, melatonin's job is to tell all the cells in the body, shh, we're going to rest, we're going to go to sleep, it's going to be great. And it starts to kick it out really slow. But a secondary, I didn't even like saying secondary. Another thing that melatonin does is it's a massive antioxidant. It goes in and it cleans up all the receptors. It cleans all the stuff. It's that powerhouse antioxidant that my own brain, my pineal, makes. But did you know that around 90 to 95% of all the melatonin in your body is actually made during the day in all of your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are your fuel. That's where we get fuel. That's where we get the energy. That's where we get the burn. And each cell has mitochondria, and those mitochondria with sunlight makes melatonin that cleans up each of those mitochondria. Melatonin is so fascinating. I hear people say, well, I was told that you can become addicted. You shouldn't take melatonin. You can become addicted. Girlfriend, I'm going to tell you right now, you are addicted. Every single cell in your body needs melatonin, and it needs massive amounts. But our circadian rhythm is messed up. And let me explain why. Around 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending on the time of the year, the lights begin to change. The sun light begins to change. We start seeing more yellows, more oranges. It wakes up my pineal and says, woo, woo, let's do this. The melatonin that my pineal makes continues to rise for 2 to 3 hours, and it peaks somewhere around midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, again, depending on the time of year. It peaks, it gets to its highest saturation, and you are in that deep sleep. That's melatonin's job. But did you know cortisol, which is part of the adrenaline stress stuff that we have going on, uses the same receptor as melatonin. So when you are stressed out, when your cortisol's through the roof, when you've got all the adrenaline happening, melatonin, even if your body's making it, can't get into the cell because it's full of cortisol. So what has to happen is the cortisol has to get used up by the cell. So now that cell is empty, it's a receptor. Melatonin goes in and says, let's go to sleep. Let's do all the things. But then it takes 6 to 7 hours to get out of your system. So if you are living the typical life where you are stressed out, stuff is always happening, people are driving you nuts, you're on Facebook, it's crazy, everybody's trying to kill us, conspiracy, oh my gosh, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and we go through all that stuff, all that stress, and you're doing it at 11 o'clock at night while you're going to bed. You got your phone right next to you, and you're watching all of this stuff, and all of this is there, and you're like, I gotta go to sleep, I gotta get up in 6 hours, oh my gosh, and you put the phone down, you're like, why can't you sleep? Why can't I go to sleep? Why can't I go to sleep? Why can't I? And it's because all that cortisol is still in the receptor. It's just sitting there. It's just living. It's creating that stress. This is why you make all the lists, and it's like list after list, and you're laying there and you're like, I'll do it tomorrow, and you're still going through the list. It's because it's cortisol's job to say, okay, what's going on? We are under stress. We are under attack. Who do we need to fight? What do we have to do? And that is going on, right? But then the melatonin comes in and says, chill. So our normal cycle, 8:30, 9 o'clock, it starts to come up, continues to rise until between 12 and 2, it continues to peak, and then it drops down, completely goes away around 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, again, depending on your cycle, depending on where you are and when the lights change. But what are other things that can mess it up other than the things we're watching and doing? All of the lights in our house, they emit a blue light, and this blue light, what color is our sky? That is sunshine. That is daylight. That is what our pineal, because you got to remember, if you went back in the Wayback Machine, when the sun went down, all we had was fire in candles. Other than that, we didn't have light. And what color is fire? It's yellows and oranges. What color is your candle flickering? It's yellows, it's oranges. But in our home, we are inundated with this blue light that triggers our pineal into going, yeah, it's still daylight. We got stuff to do. And your body will literally kick out a little bit of cortisol to keep you awake. That's when you're really tired. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you're rubbing your eyes, and you're like, I can't go to bed this early. I got stuff to do. The melatonin was doing its job. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to bed. And then you kept going, and the melatonin went, well, I must be wrong. Pineal's like, I must be wrong. It must not be time for sleep. We have something happening, and then cortisol kicks in, and we get that adrenaline bump, and then you can't go to sleep till 2. That's a cycle that you are creating. Now, let me tell you what's happening with your teenagers. So our body wants to kick out, like if the lights were perfect, wants to kick out melatonin between 8:30, 10 o'clock. Our teenagers, their clock is off. Their clock doesn't start kicking out melatonin until around midnight. And then it doesn't peak until around 3:34, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then they have to jump out of bed at 6 o'clock to get ready for school. And we wonder why our kids are so tired and so cranky. Or they have the weekend and they want to sleep all the way until noon instead of getting up at 8. And we're like, oh, my kid is just lazy. I want you to understand. I don't know how you want to handle it. You got to do you. You got to do your teens. But I want you to understand they're not just trying to irritate you. Their circadian rhythm, their clock, their body clock is set off a little bit different from ours. And that's not until they're somewhere between 21, 23 that their clock actually goes to the adult clock. so that they're making that melatonin earlier. And you'll hear things like, I feel like I'm getting old. Like, I don't want to be out, partying, and I want to be home and in bed by 10, 11. And there's like a transition that happens when they go into that. And it's because their body clock just flipped them into another time period, another body clock sleep cycle that changes as we age and we get into our 60s. Our body clock switches again and we need less sleep. And so we go from this having to have, 12 hours at one age, and then we have to have 13, and we go through all these different changes, and just knowing it's okay. We have to work with that rhythm. And you can literally look up body clock, sleep cycle, and you can do a little research yourself to see all the different things. So knowing how that works, I want you to understand some basics. So I do have, this is all in a PowerPoint. So for those of you that really like to research, I've got all the notes in there, so you can go look it up at ShannonHudsonYL.com. That's ShannonHudsonYL.com, and then go into the PowerPoints. So let me know if you like having the PowerPoints and that you'll use them, because I'd for sure do it. Because then you can do like this. I've just got my notes right in front of me, and I can teach right off of it. So reducing your sleep needs. So how much sleep you need, getting 90 minutes less. So that would be, let me see, I want to make sure it's right. So 90 minutes late for just one night can reduce your daytime alertness by 32%. So that's 90 minutes in one night. So this isn't a lifetime of doing it. We're talking 32% decrease in one day. It also decreases alertness, cognitive impairment, increases stress, increases appetite, can lead to, when it's long term, it can lead to high blood pressure, it can lead to congestive heart failure, like so many different things. So don't think, I know that there's a generation of us who feel like sleeping is like being lazy. Like it's just being lazy, get up and do something, don't take a nap. I want you to know, sleep is a biological necessity. It's not a waste of time. Chronic mild sleep deprivation diminishes your brain's ability to learn new information. It can lead to emotional issues like depression, aggression. It can cause problems with concentration, mood, behavioral, learning difficulties. It can increase attention, hyperactive issues, conduct problems. And this is chronic mild. So we're talking just getting 60 minutes less than what you're supposed to get at the different age cycles. So think about our little ones, think about our, grade schoolers, our teenagers, moms, dads, all the things. Those are, they're just, it's what happens. So the importance of getting that sleep, it's huge. So drowsiness, I found this so fascinating. Drowsiness impairs your judgment, performance, and reaction times, just like alcohol and drugs, right? So we're all don't drink and drive, but we don't say don't drive when you're sleepy. We don't say to that teenager whose sleep cycle is way off from ours, couldn't fall asleep till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, has to get up 4 hours later. We don't say to them, oh, I don't think you should be driving right now. You are drowsy. We don't even think about it. But studies have shown that being awake for more than 20 hours, not sleeping, results in an impairment equal to blood alcohol concentration of 0.08. That's crazy, especially, think about this is one of the ones that when I first heard this, I was like, are you kidding? Think about the interns, the doctors at the hospital, and working those shifts and not sleeping, and we wonder why medical error is so high. These guys aren't getting any sleep. It's their brain, their thought, their clarity is like somebody who has been drinking and is blowing up 0.08 blood alcohol concentration. They're saying that a good 1,500 deaths a year, driving accidents, 1,500 are because the person behind the wheel was sleepy. They were tired, they were drowsy, they didn't have the reaction times, and somebody cuts in front of them, or all the things. And if you don't think it's a big deal, Google accidents and sleep deprivation. It's scary, and we have got to get on top of it for our kids, okay, if you want to be an adult, you want to be tired, you're choosing that. But our teenagers, we wonder why they're depressed, they're sad, they're argumentative, all the things. Now we do have hormones and stuff going on, But what if we can just help them to get a little more sleep? What if we can encourage them to get that, nap? Take a 45-minute nap, whatever. Any way that we can get that sleep in them. I'm just saying, I know they're teenagers and it's hard, but so how do you get your life back? So what are some things that you can do right now? So, I'm a young living girl, hardcore, but there are some basic things. Do you know that just being mildly dehydrated causes fatigue, makes us tired? Just mildly dehydrated. Your little body needs like about half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. Water, actual water. If you need to use, like we've got our Vitality Drops, taste delicious, got some electrolytes in there. You can put that in your water to help you drink it more. Put your oils in there to help you drink it more, but get your water. That dehydration can lead to part of that fatigue. And for crying out loud, please start making sure your kids are getting some water. Everybody is pushing juices and so many different things. And I'm telling you, your kids, their attitude might roll back to the food colorings, the sugars, the carbon, even all those great juices. Organic juice is still straight sugar that they're drinking, y'all. I'm just saying. I know that was an off the side note there, but it's big. And I'm going to go to the next one. These are basics. Movement, getting up and moving. They say that in 6 days of 20 minutes of walking, 6 days, 20 minutes walking. It does not have to be 20 minutes at a time. It can be 5, 5, 5, and 5. Increases mental acuity, alertness, and in patients that they've tried this on, they've noticed that it works as effective as an antidepressant. At 20 minutes, you're telling me you can't get 20 minutes in? Yes, you can. Get up. And if you're tired right now, just tell yourself 6 days I'm going to feel better. 6 days of moving. And each of these little things I'm talking about, each of them increase your alertness, increase that energy. So each one is a piece in your pie. We're going to roll the whole pie together, but it's a piece of that pie. We already talked about EMF, so I'm flipping through a bunch of these sheets, but you'll see them in the PowerPoint, so you can check those out. Getting outside, y'all, I talk about it all the time. You need to be outside. We absorb sun. We need sunlight. Does all kinds of things, especially when it comes to your clock. Getting up in the mornings and making sure you go outside and you get sunlight. And literally, like, my glasses change. They've got a sun. They change so that they block out the sun. And what I have learned is that you have to take these off. Take these off, put them on the table, put them somewhere outside, and go outside without them on, because a couple of different things happen. Remember, we're light sensitive. This clock that we have is controlled by sunlight in the sunset. It's controlled by it. So when you get out there first thing in the morning, when you wake up and you let that sun hit your eyes, that straight sun. Now, I'm not saying stare at the sun. That's not a good activity. But I am saying that you should get diffused sunlight, because we have UVA rays, UVB rays, UVC rays, we have infrared, we have far infrared. There's only 39% of the light that comes from the sun is perceptible that we can see. The rest of that is all light that we don't see. So we need bibbits, that UVA, UVB, we need bibbits of that on our skin. We need that in parts. But like infrared, far infrared, they actually reflect even off of the grass and the trees and the leaves. And it's what gets inside and that infrared, that radiation that's going in, even goes all the way through the bone. So it's going through your brain. It's going into that, one of the studies they did on how it gets through the cerebral fluid. And so it can go into all of the nooks and crannies of the brain. There's so much research, you guys. Get your butt outside. Let your brain. If you're outside and it's nice and sunny, it takes 15 to 20 minutes, and you got what you need going on. Your clock has reset that this is morning. This is morning, because then it knows that sunset is going to be coming. It sets that clock. It's an easy way, and then so many other side effects. And while you're out there, just reach your foot over and touch some grass. Get your body where it's grounding, and you're going to feel all that EMF, all that garbage that's going on. It helps to discharge it right back into the ground. So you come in from that few minutes outside feeling good. And if you take that 20 minutes of being outside and touching the ground, and you're walking barefoot in your backyard, you're getting the grounding, you're getting that 20 minutes of walking. Imagine what a great way to start. And may I remind you, I haven't talked about a product yet. And I know for some of you, you're like, yeah, you haven't talked about a product. That's what I'm here for. But I don't want to give you a band-aid and telling you just use energy, you'll be great. That's a band-aid, and it's not the whole picture. It's a piece of the pie. And we're going to talk about some of those other missing pieces. So I'm not going to go into diet today, but we do know, we've talked about all the time how important it is to eat from that rainbow. That rainbow is huge, that variety of things. But I do want to give you a couple of things that I think are top on the line, resetting that clock and getting that energy and your thoughts, that clarity. Who is down for some clarity? Who's like, of all the things, I need to be able to think again, and I'm so tired I can't think. One of those products I'm going to suggest is mineral essence. Now, I do share about mineral essence all the time, but your body is literally made of minerals and vitamins. That's what we're made from. And a lot of vitamins are fortified. Lots of things have the vitamins added back in, but minerals are very rarely added back to anything we do. And if they are, it's not all of them. They're giving us like the top 5, but our body needs all these little, there's 70 different ionic trace minerals that your body is desperate for. And our Mineral Wise has all of those in the right ratio with essential oils. So when you eat that, when you get that in your body knows exactly what to do. It's super highly absorbable, and you will feel that energy boost. And it's little bits of things that you're probably not getting, things that aren't added back to our food. So if you want more on mineral essence, I will post a link to a video I did that it's half an hour of just mineral essence and why and how the minerals work inside our body. So important. So that's the first one for waking you up. Now, you can just put it underneath your tongue and drink it. It's a tincture. It doesn't have a really great flavor. It has that salty, because it's minerals, flavor, but you can also put a little bit in a shot glass with water and just take it down. You can throw it in your juice in the morning. I put it in my red drink that I do with the ninja bread and all the things. So you can do it however you need to, but I recommend 3 times a day, 5 droppers. 3 times a day, 5 droppers, and like challenge yourself to do that for a month. See what happens to you if you do that. Because I know a lot of you guys actually have your mineral essence, but you ain't been using it. Maybe you should try it. The next one is going to be mindwise. Now, I know when I say mindwise, you're like, what does that have to do with energy? If your brain is tired and it's not got all of the oomph that it needs, you're going to feel fatigued. All it wants to do is go take a little nap. Let me just shut down. I got so much going on, right? Our mindwise is literally food for your brain. This is that clarity. This is that thought process. This is where you can focus on one task at a time. This is our mindwise. It is powerful. It comes either in a glass bottle, so you pour it out. It also comes in little single serve sachets that you can have in your purse. So you can just zip one open and take it whenever you need it. It's all the really good healthy fats that your brain needs to be able to function. Our fats are a fuel source. Those are what get into that mitochondria and burn at a higher energy level. That's one of the ones you have. Then we have like our master formula. Our master formula to me is one of those things everybody should be on because it's a broad range. It's a food source multivitamin. Food source. So you've got broccoli, you've got beets, you've got all the things you don't usually eat already in these different capsules, so you're getting such good absorption. So if there's one little piece for you that you're missing, that it's just not in your diet, your family didn't need it, you didn't need it, and you're missing that thing, that little piece, doing your mineral essence and your master formula together are giving you all those puzzle pieces, so your body at least has a balance of some stuff that it needs. So you got that one going on. Enzymes, there's a whole nother class on the enzymes and why they're so important. Then we're going to talk about some oils. So one of the oils that I recommend, actually I'm going to tell you a bunch. So you can start your day I love our morning start bath gel. It's amazing. It's got all those great aromas that gets you going. So you go outside, you take that time in the morning, that 20 minutes being out there in the sun, meditation, do all the things. Then when you jump in the shower, use something like our morning start. Make sure in your diffuser you've got things like lemongrass, rosemary. You want to have things like peppermint. Those are all very energizing. They help to wake ourselves up so our body knows it's time to do it. We've got an oil called Awaken. Again, it's right in the name. This is one that helps to wake you up, but it also helps to awaken all of the dreams, the desires, the hopes, the things that you have inside you that have been buried and or you've just been too tired to care. So you can grab those. They're great ones to be able to help with that. What's other ones? Basil and rosemary, powerful combination. They help with to wake you up, to give you that focus, that clarity. And the cool thing about them is you could even do those at 9 o'clock at night because you're finishing a cram study session, but you'll be able to lay down and go to sleep afterwards. So it's not energizing like caffeine. It is an energy boost that just wakes up and gives you that clarity. So again, first thing in the morning, like I said, get outside, get those lights going on. But then in the evenings, there's some things you can do. So you can get some glasses. If you have glasses, they can go over your glasses that are called blue light blockers. So you can grab any of them that you want. But what they do is because you're still going to be up, because we're still out and about, around that 8:39, 10 o'clock at night, switch over. And what they'll do is they'll block the blues. They'll block those colors that are stimulating the pineal to think it's time to get up. And the only thing that I've ever seen that's a problem, like I can watch TV, we can go to watch movies, we can anything, and they work. The only time that I've ever seen that I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have had those on, is if I am creating graphics online, because the color scheme will be different because it's blocking out some of the shades. So the next day I'll look at it and be like, oh, that looks kind of hinky, and it's just because I was seeing it different, right? But you can also get on your computer, there's a ton of different apps, computer and phone, that will switch over and it will naturally block those blue lights for you. How powerful. So even though you're working later, you're not going to see those lights. It's not going to confuse the pineal. So just Google the different ones. If you have one that you use now that you love, post that in the comments so people have an idea. Same thing, blue light blocking glasses. If you have some that you absolutely love, post it. So, put it in the thread, the comments, whatever, so people can see it. So some other quick tips. You need to wake up at the same time every day. And I know that's hard because you're feeling sleep deprived already. And so when you have a day off, you want to be able to sleep in. But remember, we have this amazing clock in our body. And that clock needs to be, it likes to be all about balance. It likes to be exactly the same every single day. So I really recommend, especially while you're trying to get back in balance, get a cycle going, getting up at the same time every day. So if work has you that you have to be up at 7 a.m., then when that alarm goes off, turn it off, get up immediately and go outside. So I get up, I go potty, I go outside. That is my boom, boom, boom. I got my water right there with me and I go outside. And it has created such a habit that I don't even have to use an alarm clock anymore because that habit has been ingrained. It's just what it is. My clock wakes me up on my own. But I do that every single day. So it's not a hit and miss because then it doesn't become a habit. And then use something like your Sleepy Time app. It's a great way to set that. So Sleepy Time, it's Sleepy, SLEEPYTI.me. It's something that you can put on your phone. And you can literally say, because while you're making your schedule and getting to that normal rhythm going on, you're going to need some help to know when to go to sleep and then when you should wake up, because we have sleep cycles. And with the Sleepy Time app, you can go from several different ways. You can say, I have to be up at 7:15, and you put that in there and it will tell you what time you need to be in bed to be able to make that happen. Or you can say, I'm getting ready to go to bed right now. It's 1:59. What time do I wake up? And it will tell you, it will show you all the sleep cycles. So, one might be 2:30, and then there's a 4:15, and then and so you can pick, okay, and you hit that, and it will set your alarm to wake you up, because what you're doing by setting that up that way is you're waking your body up when it's at its lightest sleep. So you got sleep cycle, and we do this, right? And when we're down here is when it's the easiest to be able to wake us up. And so the Sleepy Time app will help you to be able to set that up. And then remember this, naps are okay. It's okay in the middle of the day to say, you know what, I'm sleepy, and to lay down and take a nap. We all fight it so much, but that sensation is your body saying, what I need more than anything else right now is to go to the bathroom. Is to go to sleep. So when you get the urge to go potty, you don't go, yeah, I don't have time to go to the bathroom. And then just work through the rest of the day because that's the wrong time to go. But why do we ignore? If you're hungry, you eat. If you're thirsty, you drink. If you gotta poop, you poop. But for some reason, when our body says, I'm sleepy, we go, no, we're not going to do that. You take a breath when you feel like you need to breathe. So I really want you to consider listening to your body. Your body is so intuitive. It knows what it needs. And if it says, I need to take a nap, then hit your sleepy time app and say, I'm going to sleep right now. What time do I wake up? And wake up at the very next cycle. Set the alarm, go to sleep, and be okay with that. Now, you'll find that once you get your sleep cycle straightened out, you're probably not getting any naps anymore. The naps are there because you're not getting enough and or you haven't gotten enough. So just things to think of. And what are things you can do to encourage that sleep? So all the stuff we just talked about, we have a product called Sleep Essence that I absolutely adore. It is one of the ones that really helped me get that sleep cycle happening. So it does have melatonin, but it's not like melatonin just for melatonin's sake. I see a lot of people take melatonin. So in your Sleep Essence, each individual capsule is 3.2 milligrams of melatonin. So it's not a ton of melatonin. It's what it's partnered with. And it is partnered with lavender, vetiver, valerian, and tangerine. All of these are very calming to our mind. They're very calming to our system. They're supportive of the pineal so that our body is making, creating, and helping us get into sleep. They're also really supportive of helping to moderate that cortisol so that that little receptor, it helps to clean it out so that melatonin can get in there, the melatonin you're making and the little bit that you're getting in addition to. And you can take 2 of these at night. And I recommend taking them about 9:30. So you've already started kicking out some melatonin. This pushes in, it gets us to a quiet place. And keep in mind, all of those oils I just mentioned, those are ones you can throw in your diffuser. They're ones that you can rub on your chest. They're ones that you can use that are going to help you in that sleep endeavor that you're going for. Another one that we have is our immu. And our immu also has melatonin in there. One capsule is 4.2 milligrams of melatonin. So again, these aren't like a melatonin heavy kind of thing. They're not. Our immu is different from our Sleep Essence in that it's helping with the your immune system to get that wonderful, strong immune system functioning and doing all of its things that it has in there. Oh, all the mushrooms, y'all. All the mushrooms. Y'all need to know mushrooms. There's so many different ones and they are so powerful for our body's strength. And they're things that we just don't get in big quantities. So you got your mushrooms in there. You have strawberry, raspberry, wolfberry, protein in there. Powder in there. So it's ground up. And these are chewables. So you can just chew those babies up. And I'm telling you, they're ones that are just going to assist your body while it's in that mode of, okay, I need that sleep. Or maybe you were running all day and you know your cortisol is high because you were like, doing all the things. Y'all, I don't know why I've got so many trucks flying by right now, but I got a ton of trucks. We live out in the boonies. It's really cracking me up. But things like lavender, the rutavala. Rutavala is a blend of ruta, valerian, and lavender. So it's similar. The oil profile is similar to what you would get in our Sleep Essence. So it tells you what it can do for you. Cedarwood. You know what I love about cedarwood? First of all, it's like a $15 15 mil. Love that. But cedarwood is in the aloe family. And so, but when you put cedarwood on and you smell the aroma, it helps to quiet your brain. So all of those lists, I'm a list maker. It just stops. But I take that cedarwood, I get a handful. I'd say I probably have 8-10 drops. And I put it all over my face. So I'll put the rutavala on. And then I'll put my cedarwood all on. And then I lay down and it's like a trigger. My brain knows this is sleep time. And I fall asleep. I was one of those ladies that would lay there for hours and I couldn't sleep. I'd look at the clock. Oh my gosh, it's midnight. I have to get up soon. Oh my gosh, it's 2 in the morning. Oh my gosh, it's 3. I was that chick. And this was game changer. You can also use things like peace and calming. Sleepies for our kids. You can use that on the kids, but it's good for you too. You can put any of those in your diffuser. You can rub them on topically. They just help your brain quiet. The second thing I like about my cedarwood is it's amazing for the skin. Like nooks, crannies, draggies, itchies, flakies, all the things. Cedarwood is super loving, and so it gives you that beautiful soft glow. I just love it. So those are things you can take to encourage the sleep. Then there's things that you can do to help wake you up. So you knew we weren't having this class without talking about Ninja Rod. So Ninja Rod is one of those. This is one of those products that you're just going to want 2 ounces every single day. It helps with energy. It helps with your immune system. It helps with every system in your body loves our Ninja Rod. It's a massive high antioxidant. It is going through and loving on all the things, loving on the liver. It's just one of those. It tastes great. Even your little kids are going to love it. No worries there. The second one I want to talk about is one of my besties. This is Nitro. Nitro and I are good friends. And did you guys see it is back in stock? That is hilarious. This is not Nitro. It's a bunch of oils. But Nitro is just a little container. And you just pop open the lid and you drink it. And on the bottle, so it doesn't say that it's for energy, even though Nitro, we get that thought. It says cognitive health. So this is about turning on all those switches in our thought process and our energy, and it is a powerhouse. Again, I'm going to put a link in here to a video that I did on Nitro because it's so powerful. It is just so amazing and powerful. And if you're brand new and you don't have any of this stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, I want it all. I want you to know we have some amazing kits that you can get started with from anywhere from $130 up to $250, $300, depending on which diffuser, which pieces and parts you want. So we have some good ones, but for you brand new people and you're here because of this, you want to grab the Ninja kit. Our Ninja Rad kit comes with the Nitro and Ninja Rad, and such a good deal in all the parts and pieces. And it's a great way to start with getting that focus, that energy, that clarity going on. It's a really good one to start with, but there's really not a bad one that you can get. A lot of the different oils that I've talked about right now come in some of our kits, so you can pick and choose. The next one I'm going to talk about real quick is our Ninja Zing. So Ninja Zing is our carbonated delicious wolfberry drink that gives you that little bit of a wake up. It gives you that kick, that zing when you need it. So if you know 2 o'clock in the afternoon is always your time where you get the little dip, then plan on taking a Nitro and a Zing. Tastes delicious. You can put them together and they're going to give you that little bit of a boost that your body needs so you feel more energetic. And that Zing is very hydrating. It's one of those just amazing. 35 milligrams of naturally occurring caffeine per can. So if you are wondering on the caffeine, it's a bibbit. That's like taking a couple of drinks of your coffee. It's really a bibbit of caffeine. So it's not just that. The last thing I really want to talk about is changing your story. So if you're one of those people that is constantly saying, I just can't remember anything. I just can't get anything done. I can't focus. I can't, all of the different things. And some of the oils are going to help you reset and change that. So that you can say, man, I have all the time in the world. I get everything done. I have so much energy. Would you like to be able to say and feel like you have so much energy and you get all the things done and you have the focus and all those things? We got to go in and change the story. So before you feel it, you may have to fake it, right? And so some of the oils that are going to partner with you so that you can own that energy, so you can do it. So you have to do the things, right? You have to get in the sun. You have to go outside and you have to walk. You have to touch the ground. Those are some things that you can do. You got to drink some water. My friends, you got to drink some water. But you can use things like our balsam fir. Our balsam fir is amazing. It's an oil that just helps. It helps with that calm, that zen-like feeling, so that all that stress that's going on. So you could use this in the evenings, or maybe you know that it's always a stressful time when all the kids come home from school, or now they're going to be home for school all summer. You might want to have that in your diffuser going on. I'm just saying, using things like Dreamcatcher, so that a lot of times the fatigue is just sheer, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Why am I here? What is my purpose? When you have a sense of purpose, it changes things. Dreamcatcher is great for helping with that. Acceptance. There are some things we cannot change, right? We can't change all the conspiracy theories. we have no control over that. We can't change that stuff. I have MS, so there's times where when you see me, I'm in a wheelchair. I have damage to my lungs from being on a ventilator for 3 months during the whole stuff that went on. I can't change that. So I have to be okay. So I use acceptance when I'm starting to have a pity party over it. Like, I can't do such and such. Like, I don't get to go to Grand Convention. It makes me sad because right now my body is, and my health is the most important thing. So using acceptance for the things you cannot change and not giving energy. We only have so much energy. I can't give my energy to what I'm not capable of. My energy needs to go to what I am capable of and celebrating the wins. I was outside in the sun for hours yesterday. That is a win. We need to celebrate that. Harmony in relationships. I'm telling ya, grab that oil. Those negative relationships that are just sucking the life out of you. Harmony's going to help with that. And then I'm going to say this. Sometimes we need to be able to step away from some things. If you've got some friends that are they're just in that dark place, maybe you need to see them a little less. I'm not saying cut people out of your life. I'm saying choose where your energy is going to go. Build your dream. Forgiveness. It says it right in the names. And then I'm going to tell you one more supplement. And it is my favorite. And I saved it for the last because I could probably talk for hours on it. And it is Super B. So your body, every time you are stressed, every time you are angry, every time you have something happen, somebody cuts out in front of you with a car, all the different things, your body uses up vitamin Bs. And so if you are older and you go to your doctor and you say, I'm just really tired, they will start giving you vitamin B shots. Because vitamin B helps your body's energy. And we have a supplement. Our Super B is like $20, $25. It's inexpensive. And this is one that is a game changer. Every single person that has ever ordered it and started using it, they feel the difference. It's about your mood. It's about clarity. It's about being able to handle, because stuff is going to happen, right? Stuff happens to all of us. And it's how we handle the stuff that happens. Super B helps us to handle it better. So using your balsam fir when people are irritating you and they're, so if you're ever talking to somebody and they open up their balsam fir and they're like, breathing it in, then you know you're stressing them out. And they're using that because it helps to bring them back down to center. Doing that, taking your Super B, drinking your NutriBed, your Nitro, I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing those amazing changes and start feeling that energy and start feeling like you've got enough to give to other people, right? So if you are already using some of these products, fantastic. Tell me what you're using. Tell me if you are planning on increasing the amount or the frequency that you're doing something. And if you're here brand new and somebody sent you this link or you found it on their feed because they shared it, get a hold of them. Say, dude, I want the Ninja kit. I need some NutriBed. I need some Zing, and throw in that Super B because I'm telling you, you need it. Or whatever oily kit you want to get. If you found me on your own, you found me on my YouTube, you found me all the different places, shoot me a message. I will help get you some stuff. I will help walk you through that path. So I just want to say thank you for letting me speak into your life, and we will be back next Saturday with another amazing topic. So I'd love to see you. So glad you were here. Appreciate you all so much. Have an amazing day.